Monday morning, I think during the weekend, there's been developments on the war front in Ukraine. Today, Kiev has announced they're going to evacuate 3 million people because they're fearing the Russians advancing or other missile drone attacks and parts from Russia. And the infrastructure, speakly, in western Ukraine is on its knees. And I don't know how many millions of refugees will be forced to go towards West, Poland, Germany, and other eastern countries. This crisis could create political and social instability throughout the European Union, seeing each member state are facing with energy crisis and possible civil uprise as well. More harsh conditions will come for people, more risk people will riot in the streets, and this could bring down governments, chaos and anarchy. This is the main problem. I think this is the main things which European politicians are fearing most. And the latest development, Zelensky, the fact about the Iranian drones, he wants NATO to bomb Iran. Absolutely mad. Absolutely madness. This is insanity. 100%. He wants at all costs to drag in NATO into this war, which he's losing, as well as the West. And now they're losing. They don't want to admit it because it's elections time. And that's why the reason Goldenberg went to Kiev. I don't think he went to Kiev, he went to another location. It's a bit too dangerous for high-ranking politicians in America travelling the war zone and the risk of air raids. Probably saw him in private. Well, he did meet him in private. And the Washington Post says Zelensky should open up to negotiations to Russia. But privately, no, close the door. And this is a stratagem, a decoy, distraction, to make the world lower their guard and be more prone towards this lost cause, which they've been fighting for 8 months now. I don't think people will fall for it. I think not got other things on their minds to deal with, because the attention in favour of a military intervention and supporting Ukraine with these energy and political crises in Western countries is going down every day, down the drain there. Support. And that's why Biden this week's got the mid-term elections, and he needs something to give boost for Americans to vote for him, or an old fart like him. And this idea of goodwill forces, international, I think most part of it will be America. Then you've got Polish, Romanian, and forces which are using uniforms of Ukrainian military to start a counter-offensive against the Russians, 80,000, just like that. It's not a wise idea if NATO set foot in Ukraine. For starters, they would get the ship bombed down, and that's for starters. And they could have their bases targeted by jolly killers, which are hypersonic missiles of long range. And Western NATO bases could be even targeted, like Ramstad, whatever, throughout Europe. So they could bring the war and its effects on Europeans' doorstep practically. They are like 3-year-olds messing around with electrical outlets with a fork. And one of these days, they're going to get electrocuted. That's how Western leaders are behaving with Russians in this moment now. As defences are building up in Kherson and other parts. As usual, we have the mass media saying Russian military are badly equipped, badly organised and badly trained. When you come to meet on the battlefield and they blow the crap out of your soldiers and your NATO soldiers returning in coffins back to where they came from, things will be different then. It will be your new Vietnam. They've been hearing stories about Russian ambassador to the UN after stories of nuclear dirt bombs. Seems like the Russian military had discovered drones which have the capacity to take on board modified mosquitoes, genetically alternated. Practically it's germ warfare, bacterial warfare, using these mosquitoes. And this is the same thing which has occurred in America, but they only released these genetic modified mosquitoes, I don't know, in some part of America. I think about 1 billion of them. So these things, what the Russians are allegedly claiming, it is founded. There is evidence that points in these directions. So we could be seeing chemical and bacteriological warfare used on the battlefield. When the ground is frozen, and the moment could be right. The Ukraine military, they are brave soldiers, well trained, but they've been absolutely massacred due to bad decision taken by their generals and the military top brass. There used to be around about 600,000 of them, and probably there's only remained about less than 100,000 of them. Practically each day they get massacred on the battlefield with the Russians from heavy artillery. In the name of Biden's midterm elections, he needs a victory. Empty fields, empty towns, which has no military importance, strategically speaking.